Just looking at some Decoder's 8-pin interface ones, and I'm doing a few fit outs. Most commonly one I use is the lens range. Look like that, the box. These are the later versions, these are the Digital Plus lock decoders. Got a few more extra features. Fantastic motor control on these, are really good. That's the size of them. Looks pretty average size really. That decoder will just about fit into this particular Marklin Tricks model, which is going to fit out. I've already got one of these, but I'm going to fit out this particular one with an identical decoder and settings, and maybe have them as a consist, etc., so they run perfect. So that's the one. That's chip is for that. That'll just about go in that boiler because I've fitted one before. Other one is a Lock Pilot V4 8-pin, slightly smaller if you compare. With the lens. That's the advantage with the Lock Pilot, the 8-pin versions. They're slightly smaller, slightly more expensive actually by about £4 or £5. Another one which I'm fitting out is this particular loco here, which I've always had problems with it. It was glitching when it goes over certain points and certain areas. It just fraction of a second loses the sound. So I ripped the sound out, the sound decoder, and I'm going to try a non-sound TCS decoder, which I've never used before. They look like that. That's the decoder, about the same size as an ESU decoder, but it's got, you see the two capacitors there. That's the onboard power backup for when it goes over dirty track, etc., or complex points, short wheelbase locos, or problematic locos like this one. Reason it is, it's because it's got it's a metal chassis. There's no flex in it at all, not much flexibility, and even though it's got power pickups at both ends, I've always had problems with it. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to try it with a non-sound chip. This particular chip, it's American. The chip itself looks well made. I'm quite happy with the wiring, the way it looks, the way it's been made and put together. I think they're about £36 with the battery backup, that is fantastic value. Comparing it with, say, if you put battery backup on an ESU chip, which you've got to solder the battery pack back onto the one of the sides of the chip, and that's an extra £30 odd, which is ridiculous. So I thought I'd try the TCS, and yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment. I've got another few locos I'm doing as well, which, well, it's another very unusual one actually, which I'm going to do next. Yeah, TCS instructions gives you everything in plain English, in large print, which is really nice to see. Makes a change from trying to decipher ESU German. But yeah, it's got a lot of features. I really do recommend these chips. So there we go, there's a TCS one installed in this particular model, and it's just slightly tacked to the metal chassis, making sure it's insulated. Insulate the purple auxiliary wire. Tidy up the cables. Hopefully that should be okay. For programming the TCS decoders on the ECOS, I recommend just doing it the standard way, using the CV programmer, DCC programmer. If you try it the other way, using the train profile, it doesn't really want to do it that way. It doesn't work very well. It sort of jumps and shuts the system down. Probably need some settings changing on the ECOS to change that. So the other way is the JMRI software, which would look at that decoder with no problem at all using a PC and the programming track. So this is just straight out the box with the address changed. And this would have just stopped over these points, or jutted, or completely just stopped at this speed. Obviously with the battery backup, or the power backup rather. Works perfect. Nice, smooth operation, yeah, and chuffed with that for the money, that's well worth it. I'm happy with that. Speed step 1. I mean, it's barely, you can barely see it moving. Yeah, well impressed with this chip. I think I'll be using some more of them in the future. That's it with the cover pop back on, fits all perfect, so yeah, well chuffed with that. Yeah, TCS instructions gives you everything in plain English, in large print, which is really nice to see. Makes a change from trying to decipher ESU German. But yeah, it's got a lot of features. I really do recommend these chips. That's another one done. I'll just be going back into storage now anyway. So I know that's fitted out and that's working perfect now. No problems there.